This is why you shouldn't be eating conventional acai bowls and how to make the perfect low-carb bowl. This is so good. It is getting really hot, so I've been craving more for breakfast or even sometimes dinner or lunch. Just a regular acai superfood bowl that is very refreshing and yummy and is gonna fuel your body with a lot of vitamins and minerals, right? So we tend to go to those places and spend a lot of money on acai bowls that actually are not as healthy as it looks like because they are causing a lot of side effects in our body more than fueling, and let me tell you why. The conventional acai bowl has at least 48 grams of sugar. Yes, 48 grams of sugar. So how an acai bowl can accumulate that much sugar? So first, acai is a berry that is really rich in antioxidants, vitamin, minerals, really good for balancing cholesterol and blood sugar. But most of the acai blends that we buy already at the supermarket, when we read the back label, says acai plus sugar. That's why you like it, because it's really sweet. It's not just acai. So be sure when you wanna make your acai bowl that you use acai without added sugar. Then second, usually they blend the acai or they put as a topping bananas. And bananas is one of those crazy fruits that is really high in carbohydrates. But besides the sugary acai and the banana, they tend to add honey. And honey, if it's raw and local, is a very healthy antimicrobial. It has a lot of enzymes. It's a really powerful superfood as well. However, if you are on a low-carb diet, you are trying to control insulin spikes, you have any liver issues, honey has a really high glycemic index that is gonna spike your insulin, and is really high in fructose. And fructose goes directly to the liver and is broken down in triglycerides that are transformed in cholesterol and increases the risk of fatty liver. So that's why you don't wanna have an acai bowl with a lot of honey in there. And third, they tend to crumble the acai with a granola that is oat-based. If you are on an anti-inflammatory diet, low-carb diet, ideally you don't want to put any grains on your diet. Grains like oats have a lot of phytic acid, phthalates, goitrogens, which means they are going to affect thyroid function. If you have goiter, ideally you want to avoid grains. They are going to cause a lot of inflammation, block your digestive enzymes, can also cause mineral deficiency. So on a low-carb anti-inflammatory diet, we want to go grain-free. And oats in particular is a grain that is really high in carbohydrates. So basically, with all those ingredients, you just have sugar, 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 and sugar. And as I said, it goes up to even 48 grams of sugar. Imagine, the size of 1 teaspoon is 4 grams of sugar, 4, which means that you have 12 teaspoons of sugar in there. So would you ever buy a package of sugar and start eating 12 teaspoons of sugar like that? Probably not, right? So why do we do it in a different form? Doesn't matter which is the form that you are putting it. Glucose is glucose. When your body sees the glucose, already the form of the molecule glucose, it doesn't know if it was coming from an acai bowl or it was coming from a can of soda, for example. Glucose is gonna spike your insulin levels the same way. So when we eat an acai bowl like that, it's just adding sugar, sugar, sugar. You barely have any fat and protein, which is balancing the blood sugar levels, is spiking your insulin, and only 20% of the glucose goes into energy. The rest is gonna be transformed in triglycerides, cholesterol, and fat. So yes, an acai bowl can cause weight gain and can increase cholesterol and blood sugar levels. Plus that acai bowl, as I mentioned before, is really high in fructose, and fructose doesn't spike insulin but goes to your liver, is broken down in triglycerides, transformed in triglycerides, spiking again your cholesterol, and can increase the risk of fatty livers. And if you suffer from any sign of gastrointestinal discomfort, inflammation, bloating, heartburn, reflux, constipation, diarrhea, any sign of gastrointestinal inflammation, you don't want to put that conventional acai because that amount of sugar is gonna feed the opportunistic microbes in your gut. It's gonna cause candida overgrowth, which is a yeast overgrowth, or it's gonna cause SIBO, which is a small intestine bacteria overgrowth. So the sugar, every time we put a sugar, our microbes are making a party in our digestive tract. They love fermenting carbohydrates, so such amount of sugar is gonna cause more fermentation, more microbes overgrowth, microbial overgrowth, end up with inflammation, leaky gut, and other diseases and disorders in a long term from gastrointestinal permeability. So these are the reasons, and I hope I have convinced you why you don't want to go for the conventional acai bowls. But it doesn't mean you have to give it up. I love it. I think it's really refreshing. It's a perfect substitute for a meal, and it's really rich in superfoods that are fueling your body. So how we are going to make our regular acai bowl? These are the ingredients that we are going to use. To make the paste, we are gonna use about 1/3 to half a cup of frozen blueberries. So why I'm using only half a cup of blueberries is because blueberries are higher in carbohydrate than other type of berries. Like for example, strawberry, blackberry, and raspberry are the best to control adding too much sugar to your acai. They are the lowest. Like 3/4 cup to a cup of those berries is about 5 to 6 grams of sugar, so it's really good. However, 1 cup of blueberries is 12 grams of sugar, so I'm decreasing the amount of it. I'm adding only half a cup of blueberries, but as I said, 1 cup of raspberries, strawberries, or blackberries is also good. 1/4 cup of nut milk or coconut milk. In this case, I'm gonna use almond milk. And I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of nut butter, almond butter, pecan. I'm gonna use macadamia because they are really rich in vitamin, minerals, fiber, and very healthy fat. So you can just make the plain acai bowl with your berries, milk, and nut butter, or you can add some extra items depending what you are looking for. If you are looking for healing your gut, if you are looking for balancing your hormones, if you are looking for detoxification. So let me show you some of the items that I like to add also to my acai. These are spirulina and chlorella tablets. Spirulina and chlorella are algae that are really rich in chlorophyll, and both, but in particular chlorella, are really good for helping your body in detoxification from heavy metals. For example, if you are trying to eliminate any toxin from your body, mercury, any other metal contamination, chlorella is really good. And spirulina is rich in protein as well. Like if you buy it in the powder form, 1 teaspoon spirulina is 5 grams of protein. So I would say to add 3 tablets of just chlorella, or a tablet. This is a combination of chlorella and spirulina. And I'm putting the link of all these items that I'm using for my acai in the description of the video and where you can find them. This is the mud water, which is a really good blend with cacao, turmeric, cinnamon that balances blood sugar, and a lot of mushrooms. You can check my video about all the benefits of this superfood blend. Licorice powder is really good for balancing cortisol and also keep a good integrity of the gut lining. If you suffer from leaky gut, you are working in healing the gut lining, licorice root is a really good thing to add, about 1 teaspoon also into your acai. And maca. Maca is a superfood that comes from Peru. It looks like a little root, like you can see here. It's kind of like a beet. And maca is an adaptogen. It helps balancing your hormones, boost your energy, really good for libido. There is yellow, black, and red maca. Yellow is more the general one, but red maca is more for women and black maca is more for men. Some of my favorite low-carb toppings that are gonna give the crumbly consistency, any type of low-carb nut. Like I'm gonna use chopped macadamia, you can use sliced almonds, pecans, Brazil nuts, your favorite chopped nut. And then two of my favorite seeds, which is chia seeds and hemp seeds. They are really high in protein, high in fiber, and rich in omega-3 fatty acids that are anti-inflammatory. Then shredded coconut is one of the best low-carb fruits. It's really rich in caprylic acid, lauric acid, which are antimicrobial. So we just need a food processor. We add our half a cup of blueberries, milk, 2 tablespoons nut butter, or you can substitute it for 2 to 3 tablespoons of avocado as well, which is a really good healthy protein and fat. As adds on, I'm gonna add 3 tablets of spirulina today, 1 teaspoon licorice, and we just blend everything together. Okay, let's pour our acai blend, blueberry blend, raspberry blend, and we just start putting the toppings on top. This is gonna give the crunchy consistency. And this would be your beautiful acai bowl. This is delicious and nothing to envy to the conventional acai. As you can see, I didn't add any sweetener because for me blueberries are already sweet enough. But if you want to add any extra sweetener, you can add stevia or monk fruit for a low carb, zero glycemic index approach. Alright, so I'm gonna start eating. It's hot in here, so it's gonna melt. Give it a try because you are gonna love it. And if you like this recipe and you wanna learn more healthy tips, remember to subscribe to my channel if you are new to the channel, and I hope to see you hanging out in the next video.